turn the meeting over to Dan Van. He's the program host.
These two gentlemen need no introduction, I don't think. They've been around here before. They've been here plenty of times. I'm gonna go ahead and let them take it over. Coaches, no disrespect, I'm gonna slip out a little closer to 1. I have a conference call with my new boss, and I don't want to be late for the new. I don't want her to get mad at me for not showing up, so I may slip out. But Coach Davy, you want to start it off? Sure.
Thank y'all for having us. So as far as football goes with St. Ed's, we are moving forward, trying to survive the heat. The guys have done a pretty good job. We practiced most. We just started school today. Was our first day as a half a day. We've had a few days we've gone in the afternoon due to scheduling issues, but for the most part we've kept it in the morning. We practice a little bit longer than most schools just because of our number situation where some teams have enough guys where they've got an offensive, defense, and that kind of deal. All of my guys go both ways, and we have to do special teams. So for us to practice, everything takes us longer because I don't have 40 guys that work or 20 guys or 10 guys that work just offensive, defense in a day. They work everything, so it takes us a little longer to get everything covered. So it's better for us to go a little bit early in the morning so we can go a little longer and try to avoid the heat to some degree. But it's going pretty well. We got a lot of positions to replace. We lost a decent sized senior group, lost the quarterback, Drew Brown, who had a good, his 2 years as a starting quarterback, did a very good job. The position's in capable hands. Drake Brunet, who's been a quarterback, played the position all the way through, has done a real good job. And we were fortunate enough to go with Coach Trosclair throughout the summer and passing drills and stuff. And he's had a good summer of work, but he's a hard-working kid that puts in a lot of time. So from a knowledge standpoint, he's pretty well off, and athletically, he's a good athlete. So he's going to be all right. It's just going to be, our biggest deal is going to be up front. We lost 3 seniors. I'll bring back 3 guys that played a significant amount. It's to find those other 2 spots. We're in a situation where the days of Coach Nagata when St. Ed's was big and physical across the front aren't quite there. Jenny Craig, whatever, that kind of stuff's hitting. Everybody's thin now. We need more kids that eat potatoes and get big. At least at our place, we're all in real good shape, which isn't necessarily good for me. I miss the fat kids. I could use a few. We're about, I've got 3 guys that played a good bit on the line. Finding the other 2 is going to be a good question, and finding backups will be a nice scavenger hunt. So we'll see how that goes. We've got about 37, 38, 9 through 12 this year, which just my upper class numbers are down, just smaller classes. Looking down the line, though, we've got some good numbers coming. We keep them all. We can get back up. We get pretty good numbers in the future if we can keep them all. But right now, 10 through 12, I've got about 20. I think it's about 23, 24 able-bodied individuals that'll do the lion's share of the work, and we'll get some freshmen in here and there if they warrant they can play. I feel we've got a good chance to be very competitive if we stay healthy. That's always the case, though. If you can survive the injury bug, and last 2 years have been tough, so hopefully we're swinging back to the better side of things. And we get back to my first few years where we didn't have any real significant issues at that. I don't know if you want to come up here now. You can do it. I'd like to introduce before I get out. My principal is here, Ms. Lori Doucette, who's her first year at St. Ed's as a principal, is kind of taking control.
I was wondering who that smiling lady was in the back there. No, I know. We had a girl, 2005, kind of stocky, and I did everything I could to dissuade her from playing. So, we had an offensive lineman that went to McNeese, and he was a mean guy. So anyway, Mom comes to school, and I had a meeting with her and the principal. I said, "Ma'am, your daughter could be seriously injured. I mean, this is a really tough sport, blah, blah, blah." She comes back the next day, she goes, "Well, if she's seriously injured, I'll take care of her." I said, "That's all I need to know." So we go out there, and she got mauled. I mean, she really, she actually was pretty tough. She lasted a couple of weeks, but it's not a good idea. Now, there might be a rare case now and then a girl can do something, but you know, we got 3 guys on defense that squat 500 pounds. That's, Coach knows a lot of weight right there. And the guys are so big, not always big, but strong. I mean, these guys are not super big, they're just strong, but you know, they work hard. So it's not a safe sport at all. It's really not. And we make a point of teaching head-up tackling. You know, that's a big issue these days. And my son, my last son, who played baseball at LSU, this fall, he had to give up football because of concussions. He didn't follow my directives like I told him to. He'd go charging in there. But anyway, I mean, he went to Southeastern and he had 3 concussions in 12 months. That was enough for me. Now, as much as I love football, I said, son, I'd like for you to remember your kids' names when you get to be mine. So let's, you know, he went to play baseball. Good, well, he's a lucky guy that he could do that. So, but football is a real contact sport, and I just don't think it's for girls. You know, anyway, that's my take on it. I had experience, so I got a lot of respect for Coach Davi. He's not scared to play anybody. You know, he called us about the summer passing. We hadn't done that because, you know, we're running a team, but I tell you what, it really benefited us the last couple of summers. Our receivers and quarterbacks, the timing and all, and we actually this year, and Coach can back me up on this, we have some good-looking receivers and defensive backs. They all look like you want them to look. I mean, they're taller than I am, they're thin, and now offensive line and the D-line, not very big, but these guys look the part. In fact, one of our guys is probably one of the smartest and best football players I've ever coached. He defensive back, he's about 6'3", 210. He recognizes plays sometimes when we snap the football. And he's just very, football IQ is sky high. They do not have that on the ACT test. However, so anyway, you know, if he had that on the ACT test, he'd be in the 30s, I promise you. So, but I mean, this guy's really, he's special. You know, we've been fortunate and had some really good players over the years. So, you know, we still have 2 guys that are playing professional football. One's in Canada, Kyra Saber, and Farrell Simon's in, he's in Seattle. So I just saw Farrell a few weeks ago. He came, we were at Coach Vijay's house. He passed by in his truck, and he had just gone to the store. They were having a party on July 4th. And so I reminded him that if the policeman told him to park his truck in a certain place, he might want to do that. Because I don't know if you remember the last time, right before draft day, he tried to get himself in trouble. But anyway, he's grown up a lot. He really has. He has grown up a lot. We started last week. We practiced at 3. Monday's the hottest day I've ever experienced. We brought out 2 fans. Had to pull 6 guys out. Watched them really close. Everybody went through pretty good. Yesterday was a cool front for us. And then today the school board decides we have to go out at 5. But he's 2 days behind. But that's our school board. And then they're going to buy water. They're going to buy water for everybody in the parish. Or 1 bottle of water. This is not a joke. This is a true story. And if you know anything about hydration, you don't hydrate while you're walking out to practice. You will hydrate before the day before and the day of. To make a long story short, it's a waste of some money. That's just my opinion, though. We have 4 4A schools on the schedule, and we're 3A now, before we get to district. So Crowley, well, everything I saw last year and know they have coming back, and they're loaded, so that's probably the best talent we'll face at the 4th game. Not a district game. But, you know, we're starting the season with 8 points, and I know Coach has some too, because you get points if you play up. So we got 4 4As, we got 8 points, almost like a win to start the season. Crowley's probably the toughest talent-wise, and then Church Point's always a battle. It doesn't matter what they look like or how. When we go there, it's special for them. So.
K